Failing forward means that you allow children to make mistakes. You allow people in general to make mistakes, because there's always things that you can learn from mistakes. And it's about taking that opportunity as a learning experience to figure out, what did you learn from this?
And failing forward is this ability to fail and then still see the good in it. See what you've learned, see what works, what doesn't work, what you're good at, what you're not good at, and then taking that knowledge and moving into the future and being able to do it better next time.
Letting them experience those natural consequences and just having to move on. So they've affected their grade by missing this test. So what can they do to keep moving forward? Can they go to their teacher and ask for some extra credit? What can the child do to take accountability for missing that test so they can keep moving forward?
We don't want to be afraid of failure. We don't want to grow up being afraid of failure. We want to think of it as an adventure. You know, we're going to fail, we're going to fall back, but that's okay, because we can also stand up and move on, dust ourselves off and move on. So I think failing forward can be, it's a challenge, because I think even as adults, we might have a hard time failing forward. We're so afraid of failing, but it's the moving forward part that I think we want to focus on.
I think the biggest thing I see with parents and falling forward is that there's always a point that it's easier to fall back than fall forward. Because when you fall back, you don't look at your core beliefs. When you fall forward, you're actually pushing yourself to say, wow, I actually messed up. I'm not good enough parent at this moment, but I'm gonna use this moment to kind of process who I am and learn from this experience.
And recognizing that children are gonna feel the fear that we might have as parents when we see them fail, but instead of going in and rescuing them, it's being able to say, hey, you failed, but that's okay, because look, you learned.
Discipline to me, is an aspect that needs to be not necessarily imposed. It needs to be talked about. It needs to be not necessarily discipline itself, but consequences, whether it's natural or logical consequences. And I think from a young person's standpoint, the empowerment of having a voice, maybe being able to identify what some of those logical consequences would be, allows for that family involvement to be more engaged, more us rather than me versus you.
Everybody makes mistakes, and we're going to continuously make mistakes. We can't be perfect. And instead of damaging a child's self-esteem by telling them how terrible they are at this, it's, hey, you failed, let's make this a teachable moment. This doesn't mean you're gonna fail at everything in your life. We all make mistakes, and that's how we learn. So parents identifying that just because they make a mistake, it's a teachable moment instead of a disciplinary moment. So parents can avoid damaging their children's self-esteem by really being involved and knowing who their child is, what they do, how they spend their time with their friends, who their friends are, and recognizing how they learn. Because children, they're all innately different, and we can generalize their behavior, but we can't generalize each individual child and each individual interaction and relationship that we have with each of our children.